everyone. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Joanne. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada. And today I'd like to show you how to make a card using this Ballet Beauty suite of stamps. It's actually not a suite, it's just the stamps themselves. And they are in our mini catalog that ends in May. So right now we are in the middle of Celebration, and Celebration means that you can, if you order $60 or $120 worth of product, you can pick a product from our Celebration catalog depending on how much you purchase. And in addition, they've added another selection of products to their offerings, so everything is not included in this catalog, but if you go to our website, you can see those items on there. The other thing I'd like to mention is they've added new products to our clearance rack, and this is something they don't normally do. They don't normally add stamps to that selection, and right now the certain stamp sets are discounted, and you can check those out on our clearance page. So that is a nice little bonus, and if you did order $60 worth of products from that clearance page, in addition you would get an additional item from the Celebration selection, but that is only on until the 28th of February, so I thought I'd make this video today and explain that to you. And in addition, they've introduced a new product, and I'll just put this aside for a moment. And this will be a suite of products, and I've transferred them to this little baggie, and I don't actually have the dies or the stamp set, but I did order the paper, and I think it's a beautiful paper. The stamp set and dies actually cut out these little flower shapes, so they stamp the flowers and cut them out, and this is the paper that's going to be available to customers on March 1st. If you wanted to get your hands on it prior to that, you can do so by joining Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator. You don't have to do any selling or videos, you can just do it as a hobby. After you join, you would get 20% off any additional orders that you made after your initial purchase. So for that initial purchase, if you spend $135, you get $225 worth of product right now, and you can actually order this paper and the stamps and dies that come with it. There is also a gilded paper, some embossing folders, and can't remember the other item that is available, but those items will be available before they're available to customers. So that's an option for you. You will get $225 worth of product for $175. In addition, you will get the mini cut and emboss machine, which looks like this. They have a boho blue one that is available as well, and that's for $175. If you only want to spend $135, you can still select those $225 worth of product, but you'll only pay $135 for it, and you won't get the mini boss or the mini cut and emboss machine. So I'll just quickly show you these papers. They're beautiful. And they've brought back Pretty Peacock, which is actually one of my favorite colors. It's a dark teal, so I love using that on Christmas cards. It was really pretty. The dies in this new set actually cut out this pattern in a die. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but so that. This is your Lost Lagoon is another color that they've brought back with this package. Some leaves and the die set that goes with this. I don't know if it cuts out the paper leaves on here, but it looks like it may. And this one's really pretty, and they're all very, this is very subtle, but it's pretty. And that's the back. Same thing with this. This is soft sea foam, very light color. Whoops, I think I went too far there. There's the back. This is that pretty peacock color that I referred to. And that's the back. Our flowers, the back. More leaves with a yellow behind it. And I think this is the last one, soft sea foam. And Lost Lagoon is the other color they're bringing. I don't know if I said that already. And the little gems that match that paper are really pretty as well. Just put that aside. This is them here. You would have to glue them, but they have like a frosted glass look to them, and they come in three sizes, sorry. And these are the three colors. So as you can see, they're like a frosted glass. Just pop those back in here. So that's two of the new items that are going to be coming up in the new catalog. In addition, one additional thing, Paper Pumpkin right now is the next Paper Pumpkin kit is a celebration of their 10th anniversary, and they are offering a free stamp set over and above what they normally have in the kit. So there will be 2 stamp sets in the next kit, and that would have to be ordered by March 10th. And it's generally, you get it around the 20th of the month. And I think I've covered Paper Pumpkin before in some of my other videos. But if you were interested in getting some free stuff and ordering the Paper Pumpkin, if you subscribe to a 3, 6, or 12-month order, you can place that on your order right now and get celebration items for the purchase, and then you'll have it prepaid for when you get the kit. So this is this is our host code for until the end of February. I will be leaving this open in case anybody wants to place an order. It combines the orders, and this is my contact information right here. So the card that I'm going to show you today, again, I said it's Ballet Beauty is the set I'm using. And I'm going to do a similar card to this one right here. So it'll be similar, but not exact. So this one, this one I used some discontinued ribbon from our Halloween selection, actually. Inside of this one. This paper is from, gee, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was the flowering, let me just see, it's in front of me here. It was from Happiness Abounds. So I've pre-cut some things for you. So this is cut from the scallop contour dies. So I've cut a piece of vellum, plain vellum. I've cut So Saffron cardstock. And this is that paper. However, the paper that I just showed you would be really beautiful to use as the background as well. There are so many prints in here that would work equally as well. As you can see, like either of that would look fine as well. Or you may have something that works. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've cut a card base for the card. I've cut this out of thick basic white cardstock, and the other card open sideways. I'm going to do this as the top folding card. So the first thing I will do is attach this paper onto here. This is cut at 4 1/4, a normal piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and scored at 5 1/2. This is 5 3/8 and 4 1/8. 4 1/8. I'll just double check that for you. Yeah, Yeah, 4 1/8 and 5 3/8. So we will attach that to the cardstock. I like to use the liquid glue. If not, I end up with it not straight on my card. So this allows me a little time to move it around. And that this, if you cut it this way, you will have 1/8 of an inch all around the perimeter of your card. Okay, so that's that piece. I'm going to put this on next. Try to get it as straight as I can. I think that looks pretty good. And with the vellum, there's a couple of little tricks, not tricks, but a couple of things you should know about using vellum. So we will do that next. I'll put that aside for now. I've already stamped and die cut my label with the dance quote that's in the, from here. So I'll put that aside, and I've already tied a bow with my white organdy ribbon, and that will go at the top when I'm done. So this is not a Stampin' Up product, but this is what I have right now. And the first thing I'm going to do is line up my stamp from the stamp set. And on the other card, I use this one. So this card, I'm going to use the ballerina with her leg extended. And the first thing I want to mention is quite often we use Memento black ink for stamping. Because vellum is very slippery, we want to use StazOn ink instead. And Stampin' Up offers StazOn ink in the black and in brown, if anybody would like, you know, to change the color of your ink on this. So I'm going to put this down this way. And the other thing that I'm going to use is, just let me grab that. Forgot to bring it over. Okay. I'm also going to use Nature's Beauty, surprisingly. And this little leaf image right here is what I'm going to use. If you have something that has a flower sprig or something like that on it, I was just looking for something to add that little spray as she's dancing. So I'm going to place that here, and I'm going to do both images at the same time. So I'm just going to place that there like that. And another thing you should know about StazOn is it's a solvent ink and not a dye-based ink. So when you use it, you can't color with your blends like you normally would. Because they are alcohol-based, they actually will remove the image that you just stamped. So, and you need to remove this StazOn from your stamps as soon as you're finished with them so that they don't stain the stamp. It smells nice though. So let's, my ballerina on here. And you can see she's pretty light, and that's why we use a positioning tool. Stampin' Up sells one called a Stamparatus, and it has two, a glass, it's not really glass, but doors on it, and you can lift them and reposition them down. So they have a lot more bells and whistles than this one does, but this one works for me until it breaks. Okay, lift it a little. Let's try it one more time and we'll get it nice and dark. not paying attention here, so let's try to get it dark in around the middle of her dress here. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is kind of an oily substance, so I'll spray it directly onto the baby wipe so that I don't get it all over my glass, because then I need to go clean the glass too. So as you can see, that Stays On Cleaner takes that off really, really well. And I'll just wipe the cleaner itself off the image. May give them a little rinse afterward, but for now that will be fine. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is that we're going to color the image. And in order to do that, let me just put this back in place. You can't take your blend and use it directly on your image. It will just remove the Stays On ink from the image, and you won't be able to see the image anymore. So what we do in order to get color on here with blends, you have two options. You can either use a regular marker, or you can flip your image over and color from the back, which is what I'm going to do. I'm using mint to grab the dark. Let me just see here. This is light Granny Apple Green, or dark Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use that to color the leaves on my sprig here. It doesn't need to be precise, but try to stay inside the lines of the leaves. And when you flip it over, you can see it through the image. I'll just flip my card base over so that you can see that. See? Now, the other thing I'm going to use today to give my image some color is this Take Your Pick tool. And the Take Your Pick tool, the same thing, we're going to flip the image, and I'm going to show you a technique using this tool. So when you get this, it comes with a couple of removable parts to it, and one of them is this this tool anyway. I can't remember what it's called right now, and it has a pointy end and a sharper end, or a rounder end, so it's big and little, and we're going to use the bigger end today because we don't want to puncture our vellum. So what you do is take this rounded tip and follow along wherever you want. This will make the skirt white, and it'll also raise it, so it'll give it some dimension. So just take it and lightly just mark over the inside of your image, so wherever you want some white. And as you can see, it's changing it. It's changing the vellum from that gray shade into this white. And I'm going to put a little bit out here. And right here. I'm going to put a little ring right here by her hair. And I'm also going to color her slippers. Now, if you flip that over, you'll see that it's raised just slightly, but it gives the skirt some dimension and lifts it. I'm also going to do, actually, no, I'm going to do that a different way. Oh, I think I just popped through there a little bit, but hopefully you can't see it. Okay. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to use to color this is a chalk marker. So because I only want the skirt lifted out and I don't want the top part of her dress lifted because it's a bodysuit, I'm going to use a white chalk marker, and I'm going to just paint that area with my white chalk marker. as you can see, it lightens up that image considerably. So that's how I'm going to deal with that today. And the next thing is attaching this to the vellum to our base. Now what I've been using, and I find it works really well, is actually the little glue dots from the Paper Pumpkin kit. Now you could try using these mini glue dots that can be ordered in our catalog, but I find these really disappear beneath the vellum, so that's what I like to use. But if you don't have them, you can use the other item. So our tips just slide in and you turn and they stay in place. And I'm going to flip this over once again, and I'm going to strategically place them where there is a printed image. So one there, one there, one on her foot. I'm going to put one on her hair. Lots of these because we don't want it to come up. I'm going to put one on her leg. I won't put it on the skirt itself because that's lifted. I'm going to put one in her arm here, and hopefully, and one on the other foot. And I'm going to put it right on the heel maybe. Okay, so lift your backing off these little things if that's what you're using. And this little pick works great to lift them. But it is not quick. Okay. And so I have all those lifted off now, and we'll put that on our card base. Lining it up as best you can. So that it's straight. And as you can see, you can't tell. I think there might have been a bit of ink on that, but you can't tell where it's attached to the backing. So, and I don't know if you can see it in the filming, but you can see that the skirt is slightly lifted. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is add some detail on here. So one thing I'm going to put on here is this little bow, and I'm going to attach that with these other glue dots. And I'm going to put two in underneath the to hold everything in place. There we go. And put the cap on my glue here. And the other thing I'm going to use is this down here. I'm going to cut the end off of this. I think maybe, yeah, I guess I'll have to now because I actually stamped this a little to the left. So I'm going to cut the end off of that piece. I'm going to cut it really close because the other one, the dancer's feet were really close to the edge, but this one not so much. So I'm going to place that here. And I'm going to lift it up with dimensionals. So I'm going to use the minis because I want it to fit right here. So I'm going to stack those 2 deep. Actually, I think I'll put it right in the middle here. Let's toss this one. So 1, two, just stacked them on top of each other because I want it lifted off the vellum. So I want that part to just have one dimensional. So there's one on here and here, and this one is two, to count for the difference in the raise area there. There we go. Hopefully that works out to be straight. The other thing I'm going to use is these tiny little, this is not the container they came in, I transferred them into it. And I made a discovery that you can actually color these. So I'm going to color some of them because we have a little bit of pink up here. I'm going to color some of the white ones pink. So yeah, I'll just put them down here. And I'm going to use this to attach maybe a couple of the, another great thing with this take your pick tool is it has this little putty end on it, and you can pick these up. So I'm going to use this one here, and I'm going to place it, maybe I'll put this one back up here. Right here, maybe. And I'm going to color one of these in a light pink. I'm just holding the little leaf that's on it and coloring it. That's a bit of an intense pink. I think I'll grab my lighter shade here. And they're two-sided. So if you do what I just did and you find that it's too dark, you have a second chance. So I'll use this. I'm going to place it over here on my scrap paper, and I'm going to color it with the lighter. This color is Flirty Flamingo. Yeah, I just wanted a soft pink there. So we'll go with that one. Stay there. There. It's just until it dries. I'm going to color another one or two of those. Let me try the other side. Okay, we'll see how far this gets me. I'm going to put a couple of those down by her feet as well. Maybe this one. And this one. And should we do another yellow? I think maybe another yellow. Okay, so that is our completed Ballet Beauty card for today. If this is a set that you might be interested in, I'll just show you the cards that I already have done with some other options. So this one is a top folding card, as you can tell, so it's tent style. And yeah, oh, the other thing that we can use is a little wink of Stella on her dress. So we'll just put that in here. And don't go too heavy on it because it is alcohol based and you don't want to lift up your and that'll give her skirt a little shimmer. I don't know if the camera picks that up or not. So this is one card. Similar card. I'll just move this out of the way. And some other ones that I did using that same stamp set. This is older discontinued paper that I had in my stash, and I used some iridescent pearls and basically stamped it on the cardstock and tore some paper and cut out the flowers and the Eiffel Tower, etc. from there. So this is that same scalloped die set that scalloped that edge, and a little bit of silver cardstock right there. So that was that card. This one is pretty simple. You it's just scored at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and it opens like this. This paper was one of the offerings from Celebration, and it's sold out now, unfortunately. And I just used the tag punch that is in our clearance, and basically that cut the fancy edge of that, and then you can make this part of your tag as long as you would like. And basically just colored it using the chalk marker, embossed it. So that one's pretty simple. This one used the flowers using the same raising to raise the petals on the flowers. So it's the same technique that I used today to raise those flowers, and that's another option. And this is basically just the feet from that same stamp set are stamped in a row. The paper is trimmed. Then you emboss. This card is a little bit more, there's a little bit more to it, but basically you stamp your colored dye ink onto your paper and you emboss it with clear embossing powder. Then you have to cut those pieces out. So there's raised feet right here, here, and here. And this was from an old paper pumpkin set. And there's a little piece of vellum here that was left from my Christmas stash, but it's just dots, so I use that. Okay, and then a little set of feet inside. And that's my cards for today. So Ballet Beauty is the set, and if you would like to order, you can go to https://lighthousegreetings.stampinup.net to place your order with me. Be sure to use that host code, and it'll combine the orders with others, and we'll make a larger order, so there'll be free stuff that I can give away as gifts or whatever, if you do that. If you need to contact me, it's lighthousegreetings.ca and lighthousegreetings@gmail.com. So thank you for watching today, and have a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.